after I left. And so being in communities like that, where people can talk so freely, so vulnerably, and just feel energized at the end of it, I think, yeah, it's
Mm. So going into it, do you set an intention to make those deep conversations happen, or is it just happening naturally?
I mean, I sometimes I will set an intention depending on, how and where the community I'm going into. But I think the intention is always to show up authentically myself.
Hmm.
And when I can show up as myself, I think that's you become a bit magnetic to people because you're
Thank
like
you.
not worried about impressing anyone or anything. You just are how you are.
That is powerful. Now that is like number one right there, to be authentic, and that will draw your community to you. I love that you said that. Yeah, that's wonderful. Love it.
I wanted to kind of go back to it. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Jace.
Hmm.
So, her and I are kind of in the same boat. I've been married 30 years, and I going back to your other question about, you know, how do you know, take the time for yourself, basically. So I've been married 30 years, and I had to come to the point myself where, my husband's a musician, he's a martial artist. He was doing a lot of things in our 20s and 30s. So I was holding down the house, taking care of the kids, and he has been very supportive, and I have told him this is what I need in this second chapter of my life. I need to be able to travel. I definitely told him, I want to move to another country, and I will be moving to Portugal. Even though he's staying behind, for his own reasons, he's staying behind. It was a discussion we had to have, and thankfully he is very open. So that whole thing about, as a wife, you have to give up everything for your family and husband. I don't think that is necessarily true. There has to be a balance in that relationship. And I'm just thankful that he is a very open-minded and, understanding man, where he said, okay, sure, I understand this is what you have to do. You've been holding it down for these past 30 plus years. I want you to be happy. So, and like Chase was saying, we as women, we have to have that conversations with our significant others, whether you're married in a long-term relationship or whatever. We need to have those conversations with our significant other. Otherwise, you are going to be resentful if you keep going down the path where you're doing everything for everybody else and you're not doing something for yourself that you truly enjoy. You're going to be resentful, and that does not make a happy relationship at all. So
Hmm.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to add that.
No,
Yeah,
you're right. Because I experienced that myself in that relationship. I just got so resentful because after so many years, it was like all about that person. I'm like, when do I come into the mix? And even though we had the conversations, it was still centered around him, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, really? Like after all of that, and you still want it to be about you, and you can only take so much of that. So yeah.
yeah. Angela, I love what you shared, and I heard your story before. And I love that you decided to go to Portugal, because I'm going to France in 2 years. I already told my husband, guys, I talk in a rude way, but we have that understanding. And I'm also very lucky that as an African man, and trust me when I specify as an African man, he's really evolved in his way of thinking. Because in Africa, there's a clear role for the wife to be the helper of the man forever. Okay, for the man forever. And my husband have that understanding, is that's what I need. In 2 years, I'm moving back to France. I told him, whether you want to come or not, we're gonna have two houses then. You're gonna stay here because the kids want to be, but I want to go back to France. And
Mhm.
he's okay with that. And I'm building, and also I want to come back to that question about community. I travel. My goal is to go to every country in Africa. I'm going to 13, and I'm going to 5 countries next month. I'm traveling to Africa.
Mm.
That's a way for me. When we're talking about community, When I arrive, often like in Cameroon or in these places, I usually meet with women of my age and I tell them my story. I take them out like on the weekend. You won't believe that for some women. I mean, that's something really hypocrite of me of saying it because I was the same then. Like they don't even go on the weekend. They don't even take the time to go to a coffee and share a coffee with friends, right? The only activity I saw them doing is when they do those tontines. It's like when women get together and save money, you know. It's a way to save money in Africa. But apart from that, and it's usually related to the family, it happened in the house, so the kids are there, but they don't have that time. They don't take that time for them. So for me, when I travel in every country in Africa, it, I show something, you know. I meet women, I create relationship, and then online I can help them, right? And so that's another way for me to create a community. And also because I'm living, how do you know? I walk my talk. Sometimes
Yeah.
English is
Hmm.
escaping my brain right now.
That's right. You walk your talk.
I walk my talk. So they see me doing, I'm not just talking, I'm out there with them, right? I'm going to be in Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, where else? Rwanda next
Mhm.
month, and Gabon, my country of origin. But in every country where I go, I meet women, intentionally meet women of my age because I want to be men who usually they think that that's the end of life for them. They're 50, it's over. I'm sorry, that's when life starts. It's the
Right.
best years. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. And that answer that, so you guys are just like, we're here. We're here. Because that was my next question. How are you giving back to your communities, the ones that you serve? And you clearly are by going there and talking with them and helping them in that way. Yeah. And I think, Tamara, you were talking about that too, as far as how you're serving your communities. And do you want to elaborate more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially just like getting women to start to think about themselves, think about their health, and really start to put themselves first, like, have more self-care in their life and be able to come together and speak more vulnerably. Because a lot of the topics are things that in the past were pretty taboo, like we're talking about our menstrual cycles, some of, like, the cyclical issues that we're dealing with, and just like helping women to really reconnect to that part of themselves and speak vulnerably about it. And I mean, I've even been talking to people lately about including a lot of men on these conversations too, because I think it's really important for men to also have some sort of education on women's bodies, their cycles and their hormones, and even, like, talk to their sons about it, because that's also
Oh, yeah.
important as they get
Mhm.
older, they grow up and knowing, being more aware of, like, the cyclical changes that a woman does go through and how to support her in those different phases.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, definitely. I wonder if the school system is doing better at that. It seems like they are, because my son, he seems to be really, more in tune with women and what they're going through and stuff. And so I don't know, maybe.
I hope
But
so.
yeah, I
You know,
know in my
Tamara,
situation, I give to help women bounce from toxic situations. The videos that I put out, and like sometimes I'll do these street interviews and I'll talk to women and try to put them not on the spot, but ask them certain questions to help them realize, like, when we're a part of a community, you don't want to be judgmental. You want to be a mirror for the other people so that they can, like a sounding board, so that they bounce off of what you're saying. You're like showing them back, this is what you're saying. So do you think that this makes sense, that you're waiting all this time for your dreams to manifest themselves, So that's another way to grow our community. A lot of people don't understand how to grow their communities around them. But if you just talk with people and you're very authentic, like on my channel, I say whatever comes to my mind, whatever I'm going through in the moment. I mean, when I first started the channel, it was all about me going to work and coming from work in my car, and I told it all, like everything. So, it didn't even matter, because if it was on my mind, I was spitting it out on YouTube to my community, but I felt like it was helping not just me therapeutically, mentally, but I thought it was helping other people. And I would get comments back that, yeah, thank goodness that you said that. This was very inspirational. And that made me keep going. So all of that, it was me giving back to the community, and in turn hoping to, build it up like that. Angela, what do you?
I was going to say, even Tamara, the spiritual side of when we start going through menopause, there is a spiritual side to it. At least that's why I found most of my transformational spiritual growth was after menopause, or post menopause, where I'm at now. That's why I found most of my spiritual growth. So that's another aspect of it that most people don't talk about or look at, that there is a true transformation once you've gone through that menopause cycle. So that's kind of what I wanted to say about what Tamara's what she's doing. And I think it's amazing, because it has been taboo for so long to talk about it, to talk about your menstrual cycle, or, oh, there they go with all that emotional rhetoric, whatever. Okay. But it's true. I mean, there's such the change in our mind, body, and spirit when we go through that, and it's amazing and it's powerful, and we need to celebrate it more and not look at it like, okay, here she goes, So I'm glad that, more and more people are talking about it, and really letting women understand and know that it's okay, and we'll get through this together. It's okay. So that's a wonderful community to have. So thank you, Tamara, for taking up that mantle.
Yeah. And at the different stages, that we go through, it's so important for us to talk about it. I mean, this is unprecedented, I think, to have women who are 50 and over, like, it's a thing now. It's not just a meme, it's a hashtag, like your channel, Angela, like, it's every time I post a video, I put 50 and over, because these women, more of us are tuning in, even 40 and over. It's a thing, and there's more of us that are having our own channels now and talking about these life circumstances and how to improve ourselves.
And men need to be in, and even if they're not making comments in the conversations, or the becoming that vocally involved, they need to hear it too. Yeah. Because I think that would also better help relationships in general, if men really sat down and listened and took to heart what we're saying, because we're being authentic. We're coming forward and saying, this is how we're doing, this is how we're feeling, and this is what we need. And that's the best way to learn, instead of always butting heads. Listen to what these channels and what we are saying, and understand that we're just being authentic, and we're being true, and this is the best way for you to learn.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. I can say.
Oh yes.
I had to share videos with my husband, because when I started perimenopause and understood what he was, because for me it was just hot flashes. And, some symptom, but I didn't know about dryness. I didn't know about, whether your eyes become dry or everywhere become dry, or, the brain fog and all of that. I was crazy. And my husband couldn't understand me either. And at some point I find videos and I send them to him to watch them. And then we discuss about it. I send them video from women and men, because, the men perspective, men that really explain what your women is going through, and that helped a lot our relationship.
That's a good man.
So yeah, that's why I like what you both of you, Angela and Tamara, share, because perimenopause. I'm happy that a lot of people speak about it now, because otherwise it's like you think that something is wrong with you, and
Right.
because family don't talk about it, like in
Mhm.
the African community that doesn't even exist.
And you
You
sure
know,
don't hear it on TV. They don't talk
no,
about it. You hear the
yeah,
commercial about something, and then they're flicking off of that. They're like, "What? What's that? That's women's stuff. Like, I don't want to deal with
Oh,
that."
but they're quick to talk about erectile dysfunction on
You know
TV,
what I'm saying?
but not menopause. I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
yeah.
Right.
Doctor don't even know what to do with it. They tell you, but for me, it was like, okay, uh, they will try to give you antidepressant,
Mhm.
instead of trying to treat you for, I had to fight with my doctor to try to explain to them what was going on with me. So you have to advocate for yourself and with the community. As you were saying, how we're helping the community, just us being here and sharing, us
Yeah.
having YouTube channel and community online, we're helping through those conversations as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're quick to give us a pill for it.
Yeah.
Hmm. But for us, the pill is the community.
Yeah.
That's our power. That's our superpower, to stay in community and talk to one another and not isolate ourselves. And that's important. So if you could speak to someone in their lone wolf era, what would you say to them that would either draw them out from being isolated, or to empower them from being stuck in a situation, or what's something that you could say to them?
Self-care is not selfish. I don't know if Angela said it. This is very important, because we often think that putting ourselves first is selfish.
Yeah.
Mainly when we are moms or wife, we think, even without that, women are so self-sacrificial. Is that the word? you know, that we are afraid of doing something for us.
Right.
It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to put yourself first. Tamara said earlier, you cannot pour, I'm paraphrasing, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? You have to be able to be, and by the way, family benefit from that. When I travel, if I'm here for months without traveling, I'm the most miserable person. Like,
Mm,
they don't want to be next to me. When I go and I come back, I'm the best wife, best
right.
mom, because I'm full.
Mm,
So yeah.
yeah. Well, this is great. So I love this whole topic, because I know what community has done for me, even in the YouTube space, because there are many times when I felt like giving up. But because of people like you ladies and others who have poured into me to encourage me to keep moving forward, despite, anything I was going through, even when I was still in the States. And when I started the channel, I had people that were saying, keep going, you're inspiring, you're doing this, you're doing that. And that lit me up, and that put a fire under me. So, when I talk about exit with fire, my channel, I'm serious. Like, that's what I do. And I want to light that fire under other people as well, to get them moving. Yeah.
I think I just wanted to add to that it's okay to put yourself out there. I think initially, like a lot of women might feel like this fear or resistance that comes up in putting yourself out there and joining different communities, but just to take it gradually and take it slowly. Like you don't just like, some people can just dive in head first, but like just kind of dipping your toes in the water and seeing like what sorts of communities work for you, and just doing more. I always say start with a little bit of internal work to see like what are the things that I need right now that's really going to fuel my soul,
Mm,
and really kind of sit with that for a while, and then you can look to see what other communities are out there that you can be a part of. or people that you feel so inspired by, like, like all you ladies, like you're seeing this on YouTube and you're like, okay, how can I be a part of this? And just taking it slowly, but like really going in at that with that mindset of like, it's time for me to put myself out there. It's time for me to really think about what is fueling the fire within my soul. And the more you do it, it like creates this momentum, and you just want more. I mean, Jace, you're a good example of that. Like when you started and then like now you're like, I can't even be home for that long before I want to go out again and go travel. So it's just about getting started.
Right. And some things I wanted to talk about or point out in a healthy community, because sometimes we don't know what that looks like. You gravitate towards something, but it might not be the right thing. It could be toxic, and you have to look for certain things. Like you don't want anybody telling you you're crazy for wanting more. Like when I was making my exit from my job, people were like, what? You're crazy. You can't leave, or you'll be back, or what are you going to do for money? Like that's not my mirror. That they don't know my vision and they don't understand. So I can't take that to heart what they're saying. So that's the wrong community. Like I said, you get mirrored when you get into the right community. You don't get judged for your beliefs or for your vision. And you also collapse your learning time, because you talk with other people who've been through it. And so you don't have to have that longer journey. You can learn from other people and collapse that time frame of that learning curve that you would normally have. Can anybody else think of something that you look for in a healthy community?
I look for, of course, like-minded women, but I also look for women who are not in competition. There's no reason for us to be in competition. I truly believe there's enough for everybody. Whatever that enough is, whatever that enough is for you, there's enough for everybody. So I thoroughly enjoy collaborating with other women. Miriam and I are collaborating on doing a workshop in January called the Freedom Formula Journey. So we're collaborating on that. And I always want to bring on women who are in that space, in that headspace, in that mindset, bring them onto my podcast so we can talk about it. So you can, promote what you're doing in the community. So I want a community where there's not competition. I'm not competing. At this age, I'm not competing. Should be about gathering together so we're building each other up.
Yeah. And healing. It's a healing circle too that you establish when you're in the right community. Anyone else want to add anything to that? And it's also spiritual too. I think somebody was talking about that before, it being spiritual. You can feel that intuition, that intuitiveness, and too often we don't tap into ourselves to hear those answers. And we have all the answers we need. And a lot of times we do seek out other people for answers when we already know what the answers are inside. And so that's something that, we have to learn to activate that part of us, to tap into our own intuition, because that's another superpower that we have. God didn't make men with that superpower of having that intuitiveness. They were made with, they use a different way of thinking, even in their brains. And they are more into like the hands-on when it comes to things like that and what they see visually. But ours is inside. So like, when somebody's lying or he's lying or something, or she's lying, you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we already know, but I'm going to listen to what you're saying, but I already know the truth. So keep talking and dig yourself deeper into that hole. Yeah. But sharing stories is important too, like we're doing now.
as far as, because I do, like I mentioned, I do belong to a lot of communities outside of my own community here in Lisbon, and for me, it's about also being in the room with like-minded women, individuals, women, men, whoever. And similar to what you said, Miriam, like how to shrink that space. I also like to be in communities with people I really respect and admire. And how can I, because it's like a lot of times I end up being in rooms where sometimes I'm the smartest person in the room, and then sometimes I'm not the smartest person in the room. And I think it's good to be in that room too, because you're seeing people and like you're learning so much from them. And I love to be in communities where I can definitely learn from other people and grow from other people. 'Cause I think, like, you know, knowledge is power, and like if someone is sharing information to give me a different perspective on an outlook, I think that's great, because it just helps me to expand my consciousness and my awareness and grow as a person. And so that's one of the most important things for me when being in a community.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I love that. Anybody else? No. Okay. There was something I wanted to do, this like brief thing. Let me see if I can find it. It was sort of like a game that I wanted to play, but I don't know if I still have it on here. Just a few questions that I wanted to ask. Let me see if I can find it though. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Is this it? No, that's not it either. Will I be able to find it? Oh no, I don't know where it is. I think I've lost it. I thought it was going to be fun. Might have to save it for the next episode. Well, like I said, the power of community is so important, and you know how to do this life on our own and isolate yourself. Like, why do that when you can have sisters, you can have brothers who are, you know, even somebody I met today, and she's from the school platform, and I just looked up to see who was in the area that I'm visiting, and I met two women, and we met up and stuff, and she was saying like, oh wow, is she going to show up? Like, you know, I've never done something like this before. And have I done this? I don't know if I've ever done anything like that before, but I just decided to do it. But we just established this little circle and bounced ideas off of one another and helped one another in the 2 hours that we sat there. And it was just an amazing experience. And we just had so much, you know, so many things in common because we're in this same, you know, atmosphere like we ladies are, as far as YouTube and social media and stuff. And it was just amazing to do that. And that's the power of community, because I got some answers that I didn't know about, and so did they, you know, and that shortens that learning gap that I was talking about before. So
Yeah, can I share quickly something? Like
yeah.
last month I was in Germany and then Spain. I spent, I don't know how long in Spain, so I went to
What part of
Zaragoza,
Spain did you go to?
Zaragoza, Madrid, and Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
And when I arrived in Zaragoza, there's a friend that I met in the community online here,
Mhm.
and I'm like, can you host me? I'm a backpacker, okay? And I
Yeah.
went there, you know, she hosted me. We had an amazing time. And because we've been talking online like we do, guys, we were sitting next to each other and talking like we knew each other for so long.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And another sister from the Exodus that I met um, in Madrid and Barcelona. And
Mhm.
in March, I'm going to Malaysia, meet another lady from I met online, you know, because I want to build guest house in Gabon. in my country of origin. So that's why I'm going to Tanzania. I'm going to meet another lady as well, who is there, Pam, who has a guest house in Zanzibar. And all of that is the power of internet. And in Malaysia, same. I'm going to be going to that friend that I met online. And this is just amazing. And also, it brings us together. Like the people that I would never have met. Often before coming online, you feel a bit like an outcast. Like, I'm 50, I'm a backpacker, I want to travel. What's wrong with me? Right? And then you come online and you meet other people doing the same thing, like-minded people. The community is the best thing, even on YouTube. It's the best thing out here. Meeting, I met although I knew Angela, and I went to the podcast earlier, listened to both of your interview, and then I went through your list. You know how sometimes you join a YouTube channel and then you there's so much. You have so many amazing topics. I think I'm gonna binge watch your channel for a while so I can. Yeah, you have so many great channels there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I found it. This is a little rapid fire segment. So it's more like a this or that you answer. Okay. So the first one is, do you need to feel safe to open up? Do you have to feel safe first, or do you open up to feel safe?
I need to feel safe to open up.
Same.
Okay. See, sometimes I'm the opposite. I will open up to kind of test the waters to feel safe. Yeah. So the second one is, one ride or die or a whole tribe?
You have to explain this one to me.
Okay. Yeah. So a ride or die is down for anything, like your bestie, person who will be with you, listen to you no matter what, they're going to be there for you. So a ride or die or a whole tribe of people? Which one would you rather have, this or that?
I think I have to do a ride or die. I mean, this is a hard one. I really have to think about it, but just someone who is down with me and going down this journey and this road with me. Yeah, ride or die.
Okay.
I have to say, I used to be a ride or die. I mean, I still am with my husband when I talk about him. Right now, I'd have to say a tribe, but a small tribe.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3, because sometimes your ride or die is not available. So if you're just using one person as as the person you go to every time there's a problem, or even if it's not a problem, but sometimes you also want to get different perspectives if you have a question. But
Right.
it wouldn't be a huge tribe. It would be a small 2 or 3 tops.
I'm with Angela because for me, you have friend and tribe for different things. Like my best friend, she's not into backpacking. She'd be like, nah, never, right? There's a lot of things that we don't share, but she's still my best friend. But I have my tribe of travelers. I have my tribe of women over 50. So for me, tribes, because you get something differently from different people. So yeah.
Okay. The next one is being poured into or pouring into others? Being poured into or pouring into others?
Well, I'm going to say being poured into, then I can pour into others.
Self-care. Okay. Put on your oxygen mask first. Yeah, got it. How about you, ladies?
I like that because I can't pour into others without, again, having a full cup. So yeah, being poured into.
That's a hard one for me, which shows that, it's a journey, right? Because I'm debating being poured into, or the other one is
pouring into others. Yeah.
Pouring into others. That's a hard one for me. Because, oh my goodness, you just make me realize that I have some work to do. Because this is traumatizing. Like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do?
No, but these are thinking questions, and this is
very good. Yeah, because it makes you think deeper. Yeah. Okay.
So how about this one? Big, bold conversations or quiet, consistent presence?
Oh, deep.
Big, bold conversations, or would you rather have consistent, quiet presence?
Big bold for me because I'm introvert and that consistent every day, I'll be tired. I want to have this big conversation here, but I
Yeah.
need to sleep now for a few days so I can do another one. Like,
I think for
You know
me, it
what?
depends on the
Get it.
day.
I
It depends
get
on the day and who I'm talking to.
it. I think I'm big bold conversations because I too will then need to take a nap afterwards.
I'm going to probably say quiet because I like the quiet, bold conversations. And again, it depends on my mood, but bold conversations for me requires a lot of thinking for me. And I'm not like this rapid fire. I'm glad it was an either or because sometimes when people just ask me questions and I don't have it written down,
Yeah.
my brain just shuts off. So sometimes it's hard for me to think in the moment, and I don't know if that's with age or what. But so bold conversations requires me to think in the moment, and sometimes I'm not equipped to do that, and I don't want to sound like a bumbling idiot. So I would say quiet, consistent, whatever you said, more
Okay.
quiet.
Okay. It's more quiet. Shut up. Public accountability or private processing? Public accountability or private processing?
before I would have said private, but because I'm on YouTube now,
Right.
um, I often take my audience and my community as accountability partner, and I'm talking of something specific, like my weight loss, like my health
Oh, yeah,
journey,
that's right. You
right?
have that going on. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing the 75 balance challenge. Is adaptation of 75 hard. Couldn't do that. So I created my own. And so I spoke about it online because it forces me to be accountable,
Mhm.
right? If it's a private quiet with myself,
It might not happen. Right. I gotcha.
I'm gonna admit I don't even know how to answer this question. I don't have an answer for you on this one. This one's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a processing. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm very much in my head to myself, like processing everything before. Yeah,
Like I'll have public accountability, but I've already processed it in my head. So yeah, that would be my answer for that. Okay, so text thread support or face-to-face connection?
Face
uh,
to face.
yeah. I used to like I obviously I'm still like a texter or whatever, but I'm just seeing now the power of face to face, especially as we're now coming out of this post COVID age, and like people are doing a lot of in real life again. And so I just think there's certain energetic things that you can read from a face to face that you just can't get from a text. So yeah, face to face.
I agree with that. Like, we need to get off the computer and meet, because we spend so much time behind the computer. It's lovely to go to a coffee with a friend to meet, like the friends that I met, uh, you know, in Spain. After seeing them, like I see you guys online, it's just amazing. Yes, so face to face.
Yeah. And I would say now it's face to face. Like Tamara said, mine has changed. It was text message. I would tell everybody, "Oh, I'm a texter, so text me." But really, it was because I'm an introverted extrovert. That's what I call myself because I like to be alone. I like the quiet. I like all that. But when I'm out and about, I'm like, hey, the roof is on fire. I'm like, bring it. And I'll stand on the table and start dancing and everything. But that's it. So that's me. But I like that quietness. I like, my alone time. And I like when I'm with a partner, when we're just by ourselves, so yeah, I'm an introverted extrovert.
I'm actually an extroverted introvert.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's funny. And that's funny because people think I'm an extrovert, but they see it in that moment where I'm like, very outgoing and stuff. But inside I could be thinking, okay, what time is it? I got to get home. I want to read my book. I want to, I don't want to be in this space. It's too noisy. It's too busy. That's why I don't even like going to the mall or shopping and stuff. I'd rather be home. So, okay. So the next one is breaking generational cycles with community or healing in solitude first, then circling back.
I think healing first and then breaking generational cycles with community, because in order to break any sort of generational cycle, you first have to heal yourself. So yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, me too.
So you don't feel like that could ever happen in partnership with others at the same time?
I think you have to do the work
The work.
first.
Yeah.
You have to first even understand and know that you're having an issue, right? So there's a lot of work to do before then sharing and working as a group. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah,
agree.
I think with others, it kind of does create that noise. And it depends on the type of person you are. The same way I can get wrapped up in a relationship, the same way I can get like wrapped up in other people. And it creates that noise that I feel like it takes me first and being, with myself and doing that self-healing before I can then expand that to other people.
Okay. Showing up messy or waiting until you're more put together?
Show up messy.
Messy all the time.
Messy. If you're waiting, you're never gonna get there.
I've had to learn to show up messy. It wasn't always easy for me. But doing my podcast, I've learned it doesn't have to be perfected. People don't necessarily want perfect.
Right.
So showing up messy.
Okay. I have two
Done
more.
is better than perfect.
Being seen in your struggle or only in your strength?
Seen in your
Struggle.
Struggle.
Yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with the messiness too, right? Okay, so the last question is sisterhood you chose or sisterhood that found you? Sisterhood you chose or sisterhood that found you?
I don't think I can choose, right? Because there are opportunities where there are sisterhoods that I choose, but then there are opportunities. It all also goes back to what I said, where when you can show up authentically, like you become magnetic and you attract the right people in your life. So for me, it's a balance of both.
Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Same here.
All right, good. Well, I think those are all the questions that I wanted to talk about. The topic was powerful. Anybody else have anything to add before we close out this wonderful session of Crowns and Coffee?
This
I
was
like that.
Me
Crowns and
too.
I
Where
like
did you
that.
get these questions? They were amazing. And
It's things that were in my head and I put them out, and then I utilize AI also, and my AI like knows me very
which
well.
one? Is it Chat GPT or
Chat,
Gemini?
yeah,
Yeah,
chat
I know.
knows me very well. So I put
Yeah,
together like a list of things I want to talk about, and then
yeah,
he, splits. Like he gave me some stuff, and I was like, no, I don't like that at all. Like I want it to be done like this, and to be this, and he just, yeah,
Yeah.
he knows me. I mean, he's so good. He's like, Oh yes, Queen. Like I could hear his voice, and because
I
he was
know.
A Queen. Like yes, Queen. Like I'm like
Yeah,
okay,
that's mine as well. Is my friend. Like, yeah, every day we
yeah,
chat.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's hey, it's I shouldn't even say it's the future. It's here, so we might as well utilize it and have it help us as long as it doesn't, take over our whole being, but as
I
long as
know.
it's
I know.
helping, I'm
Yeah,
going
it's
to utilize
helping.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
And I wanted to say, I'm so glad that I get the chance to talk to, it's different. Like we only chose us like comment on the YouTube channel. It's
Mhm.
very different than having a conversation with you guys now.
Yeah.
Tamara, do you have social media? Like online? You have anything?
I have Instagram. I will tell you, I'm not very active on it. I mostly deal with Substack. I love written word.
I don't know
So
what Substack, so
it
uh,
could become your best friend because you can do write long content pieces. You can write really short notes, and then you can also do a podcast on Substack, like do video recordings. All of that is just like, and it's your own audience as opposed, so you can use your email list. You have people that can follow you, so you're building up your own audience versus Instagram. Like if that platform went down, so does all the people that followed you.
okay.
So I mostly love to stare with Substack, but I have all the other things. I'm just not as active on them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I'm
But
gonna
I'm
put
make sure
everybody's
to follow you,
information.
ladies. I'm looking. I This was so enriching for me, and I just love having these conversations. So thank you, Miriam, for inviting me. I know she was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm doing this thing." I had no clue what it was about, but I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Because I met Tamara through Meetup. Like I saw, because I'm always searching things, and I was looking for women like me who were helping their communities, and I came across her Meetup, and I was looking at the description and everything. I was like, oh, okay. So then I reached out to her, but we didn't have time to connect then because I was moving back to Spain and stuff. And I said, when I move back, I'm connecting with you and we're going to do this. So here she is. I'm so happy that you were able to join. I'm happy that Jace, we've been trying to get connected for a while now. So that happened. And I'm glad that we did it this way. And
Absolutely.
Angela, she's she's like my ride or die now because we're doing this experience, this freedom formula experience together. And so that
And
this
we
is
both have the same birthday, so.
we both have the same birthday.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah. And
When's
we
your
found each other
birthday?
because we even though we knew we had the same message, we were reaching the same group. It speaks to what she said, like there's no jealousy, there's no time for that. We're here to be of service. We want to help our communities grow. And that's what, we decided to collaborate. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
December
December
5th.
5th.
Oh,
Wow.
my mom's December 2nd. So
Oh,
Okay.
Sagittarius. You already know.
Wow. My youngest December 6th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, see?
Yeah. Ladies, can you talk quickly about your workshop? Just so,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Angela, I'm gonna let you take a
Oh,
lead on
okay.
that.
Oh, I took the, no, I'm just kidding. So basically we're calling it the Freedom Formula Journey, and it's going to be breaking free from the grind. We're talking about releasing old expectations, working on our boundaries, and basically just stepping into a life that's free, authentic, and in alignment with who we are now at this stage of our life. So 40 is going to be for women 45 and older. If you're younger, sure, you could join. We're not going to discriminate, but that's just trying to um, get folks to understand that you can break free from the grind. And Miriam will be doing her talk on one day, and then I'm going to do mine on the first day. And then we'll have two guests that are going to come on. And it's going to be 2 days, 4 hours each day. And we're just going to, it's transformational. That's what we're saying, that it's going to be a transformational journey from going from grind to just living your authentic self.
That's right. See how beautifully you did that?
That
That's what I
sounds
want.
amazing.
I had my notes. Had my notes.
When is it happening? When is it happening?
End of January. So we're still putting it, finishing
Okay.
touches on it. But yeah, end of January is our
We
target
have a
date.
wait list, and I'll link that below too. So anybody who's interested now, because we have some giveaways for people who join up early, and so yeah, we'll link to that. So listen, ladies, and those who are watching on the replay or watching right now, I just want you to know you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to have the courage to not do it alone anymore. There's a community out there for you. And if you're ready for a room that's real, healing, honest, and empowering, my school platform is open. My school community, it's called the Freedom Collective. I encourage you to join that. And for the next 25 people, it's only you'll have lifetime access for that. And I have a course on there right now for public speaking that I'm building out. And right now it's only $1 after you join. And that is not going to stay for $1, but it's, that is a limited time. So I encourage you to join it now, but you will be amazed at the resources and the community that you'll encounter there. And always check for what I'm doing here on YouTube on Exit with Fire, and check out the links to all of these wonderful ladies, because they are doing their thing. They are serving their communities large, and I'm sure that each one of them have something that will resonate with you. And I encourage you to check out their channels and subscribe as well with them. And just know it's not about clout, it's about connection for all of us. And it's out there. The community is out there waiting for you. So thank you, ladies. Thank you very much for being here. Let me put my
Thank you,
music
sweetie.
on.
Oh, put your music on.
Uh-oh. All right, ladies. Thank you again. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.